Welcome to this depth stream of resuming the development of OpenArthurianX6. And what I was mentioning was that we are looking forward to have an alpha version released in December so that some of the founders can um, start working on their campaigns. And what we're going to do today is work on some miscellaneous stuff that was left from last time that we were working. And basically, the first thing that we're going to do is fix the pathfinding, or rather the movement, so that it matches what the pathfinder can do on these corners. So basically, we're going to prevent players from moving through these corners. And so yeah, first off, what I'm doing here is disabling the enemies so that they don't show up. And then I'm going to run the gulp script, which is called build. Okay, no enemies. And what we are going to do is prevent the player from being able to move here. As you can see, for example, the companions are using the pathfinding already, and they just cannot understand how I can do it, and they cannot, right? So what we are going to do here is in the movement, and I need to get back to the way that this project is structured because I always forget. But basically, there's a function that let us know whether we can or not move in a direction. So right now we are checking if we're trying to move in a direction and there's a solid cell in that direction, then we cannot move. But we are also going to check if there's like solid cells on the path to that direction. So let's see, I think we can do an additional check, but then we're going to need two positions. We're going to need the initial position and the target position. So let me check, let me see. I think this can be on the level. So, but we need to do this before checking if there's a mob. Because we also don't want to let the player attack someone through a corner. The idea is that as the diagram shows, it's closed, right? I mean, graphically there may be a gap, but it's actually not passable and you cannot do anything through. That's like the decision that I took. So after some thoughts. So we're going to check in the level, can move from this position to, or using this variation. If we cannot do that, then we will do something similar to this, I guess. We will record that we are blocked and then delay for half a second. Let's hope that works fine. So let's check this. Can move from, so we're going to put this function here. And then we are going to check the alternate tiles. So we're going to rely on the isSolid function as well. Where is it? Here it is. So we need a couple of cells that we need to check. We can check if we are on a diagonal movement, if dx, I mean, when we are not moving diagonal, either dx or dy is 0. So if dx is 0 or dy is 0, then we are not moving in diagonal, and we can just use the solid function from here for x plus dx and y plus dy. But if that's not the case, then we need to find these adjoining cells. And I used to know how to do that, but I forgot. Um, so let's see. If dx is -1, we know that dy is not 0, right? So that means that the player is moving either to the upper left or to the lower left. And if they are doing that, there's at least one cell that we need to check, and it's on x plus x minus 1, or x plus dx. So if that cell is solid, we return false, right? We cannot move there because one of these cells is solid. Wait, x plus dx, right? That's the same as x minus 1. And on yeah, I think this should work. I wonder if I should leave it like, no, but this is for the same y. Okay, this is the first one. And then the other one that we gotta check is the, keeping the same x and something like this, maybe. I wonder if that's a general case. Maybe it is, and we can just drop the if x plus dx same y, same x, y plus dy. Probably it should work. First off, I think this one needs to be both solid. If both are solid, because else you will not be able to move like right next to the corners. So if it's solid, then you cannot move, right? So this should be a folded logic. Okay, well, I can move around at least, and I can move by the solid obstacles, but will I be able to move through this corner? No, I cannot, and I'm trapped now. Well, that's a different thing that we need to do. We need to allow switching places with the friends. Right? Yeah, but it seems like it worked. That was a lucky one. And actually, I think we can remove this check. Let's see if we got to this place. Then, if there was no mob, we need to do the other check. We already did this check, so we can just do it directly. And then we can move this. Yeah, this question is still interesting. What should we do? What should we return for the movement after when we are talking with a mob? Let's see if this works. We are going to need a friendly mob, so we're going to add back this one. Now, what? Well, that's crazy. Whoa. So we are getting a change to state 2. This is happening when the dialog starts. which is good. And then that's the only change we're getting. So maybe we did something bad at the actual handling of the input. Okay. So this is the player state machine, and this is the one that handles all the inputs. But it seems like it's not calling this one, dialog action. And it should call that when we are on this function, but it seems like since the action is not enabled for some reason, then it's not going through. Right here. If I could add a break here, we will know for sure. So right, that's what's going on. And we're disabling action. I think that's happening. That's happening after we move, I think. Start combat. Player state machine. We are disabling action before moving, and we are not enabling it back. We are supposed to enable it back somewhere, maybe when it's our turn to move again. So if we did act, then, and if we are on the world status, then we enable action. So maybe we should also do this for the conversation mode. What's the name? I forgot. Conversation. I forgot what it is. What's the name of the mode? Dialog. Okay. For the dialog mode, because we were on the world mode, but now we are on the dialog mode, and we gotta enable back the action. So I hope this works. Right. Right, it worked. Great. Okay. I don't remember when we broke that, but it's fixed now, so that's okay. So let's see, that fix was here. Here we did some changes based on this one, so I'm going to put these two together, and this is prevent moving through corners, and then we gotta fix to activate or to enable action after entering conversation mode. All right. Okay. So let's see. Next one is the transition out of combat mode. if there are no enemies nearby and combat. So yeah, I think that the problem here is that we can never leave combat mode, and I think not even like there's not a command to do that, but also when you finish a combat you are stuck there forever. So let's add a single enemy and check that. Alright, so here's the enemy and it will drag us into combat mode. But I just noticed something else. Alright, let's take note of that. So prevent controlling friendly enemies, not members, not party members in combat. We should move on the round. Okay. So let's defeat this enemy. Well, something crazy is going on here. But yeah, we're stuck in combat mode forever. But I am not happy with whatever happened there. And it was very weird. Maybe caused by the fact that we have a friendly NPC there. So let's see. I don't know what happened there, but it didn't happen now. Right. So what we need to do here is first off checking if there's any nearby enemies, say 10, 20 times right radius. So I mean, ideally, once we have the field of view calculations, we can use that, but we don't have them yet. So if we are in combat, then maybe we can check for combat being done. And if that's the case, then we can switch to world state. Maybe. Let's see. If this .player.level is safe around this player.x and this player.y, if it's not, then let the next one attack. But if it is, then we switch back to world mode. So we have some methods for starting combat. They do some pretty crazy things like synchronizing all the NPCs and all the actors so that they are streamlined into a queue for combat. But I don't think we need that the other way, because we just want them to start like behaving normally. So let's just switch state to the world state. And I wonder if we are really doing this somewhere else. Right, so we do this after ending a dialogue, and this is after obtaining something, and we always set action enable to true afterwards. It seems, well, not with that. This is what we just added. This is when we close the inventory, and this is when we end the dialogue. So since it doesn't seem to be that crazy, but maybe we will need the actual enable part as well. We will see. So let's see how this works. Oh, I forgot to explain this. Level is saved around. So let's see if there's an enemy within the range. We can use this probably. Or no, this one. I don't know, anything will do. That distance will work. So we are just seeing if there's any mob. Well, but we only want enemies, right? So x dot y and the x n dot y is less than 10, 15, 10. And we also want this to be hostile. So let's see if we can see if the mob is hostile. So the alignment, I guess that will be enough. So we can check if the monster has, or if the mob has a different alignment than something here, and it's less than that distance. Let's try and see if it works. We will need to add this, the alignment player here. Right. So it died. And I wonder why it died. Maybe, yeah, I think it failed to end combat, but also failed to enable the action problem that was happening. I can't do anything. Alright, so yeah, that's actually what happened. thinks that it's safe, but it's not safe. There's still a enemy. So let's see why that's happening. Right. Safe around. So yeah, I think we need to find, let's see how that works. Define method returns the value of the main, otherwise undefined is returned. So we need this to be undefined. That's how we determine if it's safe. Right, that's different. That's better. And now it's going to just stay there, right? Because we didn't enable back the action. So we are going to need to do that here. And I think we're going to actually use the enable action method instead of just changing the variable. So let's try again. So it seems that the combat is done for me, but no one else wants to move. Alright, I think every mob has like a mode, so we need to do something additional here. So whenever we go to combat, we are setting the attribute on the mobs to go to combat, and that happens right start combat. Short for combat. This is pretty, because that's all the thing that is related to changing from the chaotic world mode where all the NPCs are moving around, and the combat mode where they are scheduled to act like one after the other. So I recall we set them to act differently based on that. Based on that. Combat sync, this is what I mean. If check combat ready. If this punto state, this dot state is combat, then we do nothing because we already changed there. If the level, this is so weird. I completely forgot that. But I do know that we mark them somehow for that. So what we can do is follow the start combat flow. This happens when we hit the C key or when we are hit by someone. And what this does is switching state to combat sync. And when we are in combat sync mode, we check every time someone's going to act, we check for combat readiness on the state machine. So I think what we are trying to do here is making sure that none of them is able to act, but I am not sure. Check combat ready. When do we do the transition from combat sync to combat? We do that here when no mob is active on the level. Alright. So when none of them are executing an action, we are set for combat. I don't understand why they don't move. Maybe if I attack them. No. Well, that was crazy. Now it's broken. I don't know. They are stuck in a mode where they are doing nothing. It's like they are waiting for the command on the combat mode, but we're no longer in the combat mode. So they just do nothing. Let's go back to how the mobs decide what to do. That happens here. Activate. Okay. We need to activate them back. We need to activate all the mobs. I think that's what we need to do. So let's try and do that. Right, because when we activate, then it's set to do what it has to do after acting. What I'm not sure about is what happens with the player when it's activated, and I think it does nothing. We activate the mobs when we are done talking, or when it's added to the level, or just after acting, and we do not activate them when they are going to combat. So that should work. I mean, I'm not sure, but let's try and see. Okay. Oh my God. So what happened here is that I am now controlling a party member instead of the player. That's something additional that I need to check, but in any case, they are still dead. Well, they did never call this. We need to call this here. This dot player dot level dot activate all, and we need to set the mob set the active mob back to the player always. Okay, that worked. Except that I think this one now thinks he's a party member. That kind of works, but I still need to ensure this. I don't know if active mob, yeah. We need to set this one back to the player. Right. Okay. So we're going to let the other party members do the job while we run away. And yeah, that worked. Cool. So what we did here is we are ending combat whenever there's no nearby enemies, and then we are activating back all the mobs so that the game continues. Only thing that I'm going to add is some kind of message here. Well, there's some indentation issue here, and it's open. Message. Reporting matching. That's not very good. Okay, we can directly show the message. Right. Okay. So we are finishing combat after when there are no enemies nearby. Go back to world mode. All right. Okay, I think that covers a bit of what I wanted to do today. We went into some hardships there. But next time, I don't know what we're going to continue with. Maybe with some of these smaller things that we detected today, like allow switching places with friends and prevent controlling friendly enemies, friendly mobs in combat. Probably that's something we're going to do. I also noticed this here. Issue when getting something while on combat mode. Alright, so maybe that may be troublesome when we are in combat mode. So when we try to get this fish, what's going to happen? I got it, and I got back to world mode, and everyone's frozen. So we gotta fix that. Oh, that's pretty advantageous. No one's going to do anything. I can. I think I literally stopped time. So this is like a stop time spell, and now I'm okay. Right, that's another one. Uh, Game breaks after attacking a friend. I don't think what I'm running. Okay, so this is that's it for today. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you soon.